This is the ultimate start-to-finish guide for the Stellaris mod, where you can roam around space in a rocket. This is an amazing mod, and I can't wait to show it to you. So we're going to need a few things to get started. And by the way, if you're put off by space mods because you think, oh, it sounds really complex, this mod is really straightforward, and I think they've done an amazing job at making it beginner-friendly, even for modders. So the first thing you're going to want to do is dig down deep into the earth and get steel ore. You can also get heavy iron, heavy metal, which is made by literally just smelting iron ingots. And these are one of the first few things you're going to need in the mod. So the next things that we're basically going to be doing is preparing things to get in our rocket. That's mainly going to be food and oxygen. So we need to make some power. We need to make some pipes in order to power the machines that we need to make our oxygen, etc. So the first one you're going to want to make is a water pump. And if I show you how these are made, it's going to be things like heavy metal ingots, which I've just shown you, and tier 1 cables, for example. So there's a few different tiers of cables. You can see it's made of steel nuggets, which I've just shown you can dig up. There are also tier 2 cables, which are made with DESH ingots, which are from the moon. There is tier 3, tier 1 and tier 2 pipes, and tier 3 pipes as well, which don't seem to have recipes in here, but I do believe it's made of DESH, etc. So if you're thinking, well, what's DESH? There are things like plutonium, uranium. These are all from the different planets. The only one you're going to be getting on Earth, which is the overworld, is steel. So make a water pump and then place it over water like this. Make sure that it's in an infinite water source because it will suck up the actual water source, and put behind it a tier 1 cable because it will need power. And then we're going to make a water separator. And what this is going to do is it's going to separate the water into oxygen and hydrogen, and it needs some energy. So I would recommend using a coal generator. A coal generator simply burns coal to make energy. So let's make a setup of this now, shall we? So I'm going to place my water pump, I'm going to place my water separator, and I'm going to place like 3 coal generators because it can take a fair bit of energy. And I'm going to get tier 1 cable, which is basically just hooking up the power of these machines to the coal. So I'm going to put some coal in here, of course. And as you can see, it's burning and filling up with energy. Oops. Fill all of these up. You could obviously use different mods for your power if you already have them. And now it's automatically powering the water separator and also the pump. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and add some water. There we go. And you can see it's now, oopsie, it's now got water inside the water pump, and we need to get it into the water separator. So for that, I'm going to use a pipe. A tier 1 cable transfers power. A tier 1 pipe transfers fluids, etc. And as you can see, automatically, it's just pumping out the water and going into the water separator. It's filling up in the water separator. It's got power, and it's making hydrogen and oxygen. And we're going to be using the oxygen. The hydrogen you'll be using later, and I'll show you that. That's mainly used for upgrading your rocket. So the oxygen. One thing I want to show you is the spacesuit you're going to be wearing in space. It's made pretty simply, as you can see here. And it comes in, the boots, which is basically just some armor. The legs is basically just some armor. The head is basically just armor. And then the chest, you can see it says oxygen 0. So I can go into the water separator and add in oxygen to the spacesuit by just putting it in the slot underneath the oxygen tank here. And now my spacesuit chest has oxygen in it, so that I will be able to actually breathe when I go to outer space. Another thing you can do with your oxygen is get an oxygen tank. You can make a big one or a small one, it's up to you. And again, we're just going to place that in here on the right hand side where your oxygen is. I'm just going to use this one because this one's been running for a while. So oxygen, there we go. And this big one can store a lot of oxygen, the small one a lot less. So there we go. We've now got oxygen and we're ready to go to another planet from that perspective. Before we get into the video, thank you so much to G-Portal for sponsoring this video. You can get Minecraft or a plethora of other games on their library here through their Game Cloud system, meaning you can buy as much RAM as you need for, say, a Minecraft server, and if you've got any left over or you want to add more, you can add other servers from different games into your Game Cloud and switch them out throughout the month as you wish. They have servers all over the world, as you can see here, and give you protection from DDoS attacks, 24/7 support, databases, and the server is immediately online. If you're looking for a specific mod pack in Minecraft, you can simply search it up, like our Patreon server, which we host on RLcraft. You can see it also recommends how much gigabytes you need. I, as a content creator of a community, need to make sure that it's a company I can trust, and my server runs beautifully, better than even running it myself, and I have a lot of experience in running servers. So if you want 10% off your first order with gPortal, check out the link in my description, and don't forget you can always join the Patreon to support the channel, and also join the Patreon-only RLcraft server. Once you've got your oxygen, one thing you will want to do, or potentially want to do, is not just use it in your suit, but if you're looking to go to other planets and make, a base there, you will need to oxygenate the room. So you could just make an oxygen distributor. An oxygen distributor. Why the hell could I not say that then? And you just put in your oxygen tank into this tank slot, and it will distribute oxygen into a closed room like this. Next up, how do we make fuel? So, making fuel. First up, we need to find the fuel, which is going to be in oil in the world. And we need to actually find it first. And not all chunks have it in. So what you want to make is a oil finder here. And just simply run around right-clicking it. And can you see here it says oil found, and it shows you how much oil is found, and then no oil found. So you know when you found oil because it'll say oil found. Oh, it's all very clever, I know. Rocket science almost, which is basically what we're doing in this mod. So what you want to then make is a pump jack, as you can see here. Place it down, and you're going to then power it. As you can see, I'm using the coal generator. It goes into the middle bit here, and if you right-click on the coal jack, you can see it's got oil in here. You can then bucket it out here, and then put it into a fuel refinery, where you put the oil in, and fuel comes out. This hasn't got any energy, hence why it's not making much fuel, but as you can see, the fuel is in here. And you could just bucket out the fuel from the fuel refinery. And that's as simple as it is for how to find and get fuel. Now, of course, we can bring it all together into the exciting bit, which is actually making a rocket. So you're going to make a rocket station here. And inside it, this is the recipe for the rocket. There's only one recipe for the rocket, okay? And what we're going to need is, so you've got rocket fins here, all steel ingots, and then we're going to need, I will know the blocks when I see them, a rocket nose cone and a rocket engine on the bottom like that. And that will make you a rocket. And then you take that out from the right hand slot, and I've got another one over here. Let me just take these rocket launch pads, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then it lifts up. You can see it's like a multi-block. Right click your rocket on top, and there you go. We can then shift click our rocket. Don't right click, because then you'll get into it. You can then press left shift to get out. So shift right click to go into the rocket like this. That fuel I showed you how to make, and this is where it all comes together. The fuel goes in here, bucket it up until it's full. There we go. We've got 3 buckets full of fuel in the left. We've then got some storage up here. You could just put whatever you want to take with you. Maybe I want to take some coal with me. I might want to take some rocket launch pads so that I can get back. Because you will land in a rover and won't actually be able to get back. So, you might want to do that. You might want to get back home, and things like that. So we've got a few upgrades here. We have the motor upgrade, first and foremost, which changes what fuel the rocket uses. The hydrogen motor, which would go in here. I can't put it in there at the moment because I've got fuel in there. That would change it to hydrogen, and the radioactive one would change it to radioactive materials, of which there are a few. So if I show you here, you can see there's uranium, which is gotten from mercury. So if you're not sure where you get a certain ore, mercury uranium ore is from mercury. Whereas mercury iron ore is from mercury. Venus coal ore, Venus neptunium, Venus gold, Venus diamond, moon dash ore, moon ice shards, Mars ice shards, Mars plutonium. So it's pretty obvious which planet each ore comes from. And it's plutonium, uranium, and neptunium, I think, are the 3 radioactive ones. You can also make, while we're on the topic, a radioactive generator, which makes a lot of energy and uses radioactive materials. And you can also make a solar panel, which doesn't really make much energy, but obviously it is going to use the power of the sun rather than taking coal with you in coal generators. Before we go, you may also want to get some food, and that would be done in the vacuumator. You can also put blocks next to the energy devices, like the radioactive generator, to power them. So what this does is, it's kind of obvious. You put in the cans, so green cans. You can then dye them different colors if you want, but you can make them from nuggets. Put in your cans on the left. I'm going to put in some cooked chicken, and then I'm going to put in some glass bottles. I think the glass bottles are so it's like air pressure, or it's vacuuming it, so it's taking out the moisture and gives you a water bottle back, which is quite cool. And then you've got a blue can, and you can see how much nutrition and saturation is in that can, and you can take that with you for space food. So at this point, we are pretty much ready. Let's just check out the other upgrades. I think I've put them in this one already. No, I haven't. Let's check out the other upgrades. So in this second one, you can make a big fuel tank. So you get more fuel. There you go. Lovely. And then the third one and the fourth one, this is changing what your rocket looks like. So you may see up here, there is a tiny rocket module, a small rocket, normal and big rocket. So there's only one rocket recipe, which is the one I showed you. However, you can make a normal, small and tiny rocket, like you make this, like this. And then you add Desh ingots, which is from the moon, and then heavy metal upgrades it to a normal, and then steel upgrades it to a big rocket. So once you've got those materials, you could put that in here, and it will turn it into a big rocket, which is even cooler looking. But it's the same rocket, it's just the aesthetics. And then if you want to change it to maybe a rusty skin, you could put that in the third one, and it's a big rocket, but rusty. Or you could make a frozen one, which I think looks amazing. Oh my God, so cool. For example. And that's everything you can do in the rocket. When we are ready to launch, right-click to get in it and press the space bar, and we have a liftoff. So what you're going to see is that there's a countdown, obviously. We can actually do it like this and see it. If you press F5, cooey, I'm in here. And you can see on the left we're going up, 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 and eventually we are going to get to space. So I'll see you there in just a second. So once you finally get here, we are now in space, as you can see, and we are obviously like orbiting. Just press space and it'll stop. And this is where you can see where to go. So I can click on Mercury, and it will tell me the temperature, the gravity. Does it have oxygen? No, it does not. Earth, which is obviously where we've just been. How many moons does it have? If I want to go to the moon, I can click the moon. Temperature of the moon, gravity, has oxygen, yes or no. Mars, etc. And these are actually really, really awesome in the fact of what is actually on these planets. Like Venus has some really cool structures, and you'll find different mobs and almost like, I wouldn't quite call them dungeons, but they're like big structures that you could explore with spawners in and mobs to kill and really, really cool stuff. So maybe we want to go to Mars, for example. We press launch, and we are going to be loading the terrain in and then landing in Mars. And you can see I'm getting faster and faster and faster and faster. So you want to hold the space bar to slow that speed down as we throttle down. And again, on the left of the screen, you can see where we're coming down into the atmosphere. And the world is starting to take place now. And slow down. I don't know what happens if you don't slow down. If it explodes, I'm not sure. But there we go. And then just press Shift to get out. Now, if you want to get back, this is why I said earlier, you should bring some rocket launch pads with you, which seem to be bugging out at the moment. I have let the mod developers know that you can't seem to place these. But if you go Shift right click into the lander, you can see that your rocket is in here with the fuel. So you can relaunch it as the little rocket in here, but you would obviously need your launch pads to do that. And obviously the gravity, etc. You can see how much I'm jumping right now. It is actually gravity, etc. And don't forget, you are going to need oxygen in your spacesuit. There's different biomes and structures, like I said, on each planet. Where are we at the moment? Mars, I think. Like, this is so cool. And here you can see as a structure, we have some Martian raptors. Oh my lord. Martian raptors, which look peaceful. Yeah. They look like this, which are absolutely terrifying. So there's loads of different, aliens, etc. that you'll find as you can see here, and there's like some structures that you could explore, really different on each planet, etc. Oh, and look at this. There's actually a launch pad in this structure. So you can actually find them as well. It might actually be intended that you can't place them and that you have to find things like this to get back. I'm not actually sure myself. A lever. Yeah, some really, really cool stuff that you'll find here in these structures. And sometimes these have loot in, sometimes these don't. But I could break all the other blocks, which is interesting. I just can't place the launch pads. There is a rover that you can make. If I come back to Earth, well, not Earth, Mars actually. Specifically, not Earth. Let's place this down. And you can get in it and drive around. It's actually really, really fast and can go up blocks, as you can see here, pretty easily. It's actually, wow, this is actually amazing. My God. Christ, this is good. I wasn't expecting vehicles in Minecraft to ever be so good, but maybe I should check out more vehicle mods because this is amazing. And you just shift to get out of your rover. There's also an... you can make like lanterns and cool stuff from different mods and, you know, steel swords, etc. But the one item I do want to show you last is the upgrade station. Here we go. Upgrade station. You put in your armor, like, you know, your spacesuit that I've shown you, the chest piece. And then you can put in some upgrades, like over here. You can see I've got base modules. You can make a fuel module, an auto feeder, for example. I can put that in here and then get the auto feeder on my spacesuit. And I can shift to see what modules are in here. There's an oil finder module, so I guess it will find oil for you. Gravity normalizer, which I guess makes it to how Earth is, and a jet module, so you can kind of fly with the fuel in your spacesuit. And there you go, guys. That is the complete guide to the Stellaris mod in Minecraft. I hope you did enjoy the video. Click that subscribe button if you did, and of course leave a thumbs up. If you're looking for other mod guides, I do a hell of a lot on this channel. My actual goal on this channel is to complete every major mod in the entirety of Minecraft for Forge, Fabric, etc. If you look at my channel, I have a tech mod shelf, a magic mod shelf, a utility and standalone mod shelf, so ones that aren't in playlists. I also have now mod pack guides as a shelf. So at the moment, I am live streaming through RLCraft. And you can get that, of course, on my lives. I live every Wednesday and Saturday. And you can always see when the next scheduled stream is. And I play through the mod pack, and then I will also do separate guides on that mod pack. So if you are looking for specific mod packs, or you just want to come along and ask me some questions or hang out, you can also do that there. Do also just use the search bar if you are looking for a specific mod. And if you'd like to play with me, the mod pack that I do live stream, I do from our Patreon server, which of course you can join down below, which would massively support the channel, but also gets you access to things like that.